Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Devon. Awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure.
All right. It says we are live.
Sweet. What's up, guys? I'm Alex.
I'm Jason. We're the Table Monkeys, and this is another episode of Table Talks 2.0. And we have our man, the most controversial person in the sport at the moment, Devon Larratt, with us tonight. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
How did that happen? How did I become the most controversial person?
I don't know. It used to be Michael Todd.
Yeah.
Now it's you.
Was it Michael? Jeez. I just inherited all that stuff, eh? And then some, I think.
Yeah.
Making your own rules up to fit you, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Terrible person. Terrible human being.
You only want it your way, apparently.
That's it. I am out to destroy this sport. I will burn it. I'm going to burn this thing right into the ground and walk away with money and leave everybody with nothing.
Those as many times as I've met you, those are definitely your goals.
Right? 100%.
Real quick, we got 30 people in here with us already, and we just want to get into some of the chats quick because a bunch of people saying hello. Richard Price. I'm really bad with names, so Alex, take over for me on some of the names.
Okay, World's Strangest Man, what's up? Dave Berry, Sean, Cullignator, that's another Sean.
That's my buddy Sean.
Yeah, what's up, Sean? How you doing?
Leroy Jenkins.
We call him Sean Omnicron.
Omnicron?
Sean Omnicron.
Did you get COVID again?
You know how that thing works, that COVID system? It's like a pyramid system. If you give it to somebody, then they give you some power. And in the Ottawa High Hookers, it's commonly known that Sean gave everyone Omnicron.
Oh, so he's just absorbing power.
Yeah. So he's like the head. He's on the top of the pyramid. We're all feeding him our snake venom powers.
We need to get him a super match, is what you're saying.
Oh, he's invincible now. Don't even bother.
Don't even bother? Okay.
He's become so powerful. It's not even fair anymore.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. All right, I'll see my provincials hopefully.
Yeah, he's doing good.
That's awesome. So obviously controversial. The big thing is rules. We want to talk, usually on these things, we want to try to talk about training with whoever we talk about, but obviously rules are a big topic right now. So we'd love to get into that discussion with you because there's definitely, obviously, it's a bit of a divisive thing. And I think there's a bunch of misunderstandings. And I think there's also a whole slew of people just trying to push each other's buttons by saying a bunch of bullshit. But the main thing I think it comes down to is, are the rules for the spectators, the athletes, or the refs, and or what combination of those three things, right?
Yeah.
And I think to grow the sport, the spectators got to be the first thing that you think about. And then the second thing has to be the athlete, or else people aren't going to want to participate in said, league or rule set. And I think all three of us agree that the worst thing is when the ref takes control and it becomes like their match.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
Obviously, we both watched that video you put out talking about the Don Underwood match. And Alex, you were making a good point about starting with the idea that we're talking about humans and humans are imperfect. Every ref has got to be a human. So where do we go from here?
Yeah, and they make bad decisions all the time. Most of the time, it's just Bart taking all the heat lately in WL for making bad decisions. But there's just as many bad decisions made over in the PAL, and at least the WL is entertaining to watch. Right, every single match, millions of views, great, comments in the comments, like everyone's loving it. And then PAL, it's the most boring event to watch ever, even if there's some of the greatest arm wrestlers in the world competing. It's slow. They're constantly resetting their grip. They take the strap off in the middle of rounds. People are fouling out in ref's grip. They're getting micro elbow fouls that decide the entire match. It's horrible.
I think a lot of the show depends on the athlete, right? If you have a stud athlete, people are going to watch them compete anywhere they go.
Right.
But you have
Yeah.
to consider what rule system is conducive to bringing out the best in the athletes and in our sport. And I
For sure.
struggle so much to think that WAF, when called exactly by the book, so WAF, PAL,
Yeah.
when you call it precisely as it should be, which I do think rules should be called precisely,
For sure.
you have a great chance of diminishing your product, unfortunately. I've seen it too many times. Being an athlete, knowing what athletes do, it puts too much stress on everyone because you're in this place. The problem is the rules, the way they're written, and the culture of arm wrestling make it so that a lot of times, if you go inside the head of the referee, they're in this place where I want there to be a show, but if I call it precisely, I'm going to foul people out. So then you're in this place where nobody's happy because the rules cannot be followed to make a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It just doesn't work. You need to have some great steps forward we've had. Running fouls. So simple. So simple. Yeah, call fouls. Show must go on. Okay.
Yeah.
Simple. Simple.
Yeah.
I don't understand why every single high-level match doesn't have running fouls. It's so simple to me. Like, don't stop the match unless you absolutely have to.
Yep.
Simple.
And it doesn't make it harder on the ref. Like, they just call the elbow foul and the match continues.
Yeah. Another thing that is a massive pet peeve of mine is referee's grip. I think that the invention of the set grip is so wonderful.
Yep.
Because the way that the set grip is written, and for all the super nerds out there, go on the WAL site, find the rules, digest what the set grip means, and understand that the set grip and the ref's grip have some very nice subtle intricacies that, the set grip allows there to be some movement. It means that the referee does not have to call fouls all the time when there is a little bit of movement. So long as it's not moving off center, the thumb knuckles aren't being covered, there's no early start, that match is going.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of you as a referee being able to call the match as it should be and get the match started, it goes way up.
Yep.
Last thing I'll say on like rules, like, and what I think is just so clear to me is, and we haven't gotten there yet, is I do really, really believe that eventually we should really aim at moving to a consent style start, preferably. Like this whole negotiated grip for 30 seconds or whatever, it should just be moved to a consent style grip where you got a button. When you're good, you press it. And when there's two lights, the referee just says go. It's very simple. Nobody can complain. Nobody can say anything bad about it. If you're happy, you press the button, you're good to start the match. You can't be unhappy if you're saying you're happy. Referee just says go. It's so simple. Nobody gets screwed over. The goal of the rules for the athlete's sake is that you can walk away and you can feel like you weren't robbed.
In that situation, you think that's better than just a WL set grip, just straight to set grip?
Well, what if you did?
And this is, and I have to remember, like, I am in a massive position of, what do you call it?
Influence?
Well, sure, influence, but I wasn't going to say influence. I was going to say, what's it called when you have interest in something? Like, what's it called? Like, I think it starts with the letter C. Like, so say you're like buying,
like bias?
It's definitely a bias, but conflict of interest.
Yeah, conflict of interest. Yeah.
I'm in a position of conflict of interest because like I'm still an athlete. And right away, anytime I say anything, people assume it's
for your best interest. It's for what you want the best. Well, right. I mean, there's always a way to combine things. So like what we've been doing at BAL is we do the set grip, but we give a warning. So instead of a ref grip where you get a foul in the set grip, because I think that's the thing that doesn't make sense to spectators is when a match doesn't even start and the ref goes like this and gives somebody a win. Like, that just looks horrible. It's boring as shit, and it never is understandable to the people watching. So in the set grip is, like you said, there's a little bit of movement, but if somebody, early starts or whatever, instead of the 3-foul system, you get a warning in the set grip, because the goal is, like you said, the goal is to start the match. And then once you're in the match, we want it to finish with a pin. We don't want to finish it unless somebody does something egregious. That would be the only kind of foul where I'd have, like, the ref stops the match to be like, no, that's a flagrant foul on you. You can't lift your arm 2 feet off and try to slam the guy, or you can't fall way off the back of the table.
I'll tell you, me personally, I have a big problem with the difference between running foul and a flagrant foul. I think it's total crap. I personally think that everything should just be a running foul. And I like the WAL system of running foul because I think it's harder to abuse. I don't like the arm war style of running foul. I feel like once you've been violated by someone fouling against you, you should just always have the advantage, and that should never ever change, regardless.
Okay, so explain that. So in arm wars, the match goes live again if the other guy fouls,
which I personally disagree with. I think that there's some calls there that, like, I think that once you are fouled against, you can never ever lose. That's my opinion. I feel like the first person who fouled, I feel like you've screwed up, and you've got to win the match. You've got to win the match, or the other person can elbow foul and then get a restart. Like, but I don't think.
Oh, so that's so in the WAL, if you foul, like, you have a professional, you can get yourself out of the match by fouling if you are the second, like if they fouled first.
So in the WAL system, you and I are having an arm wrestling match.
Yeah.
If I foul,
I can lift my elbow to stop the match if I want.
Correct.
Yeah. But in arm wars, I lift my elbow. Now the match is live again.
Correct. Now, I did stipulate with Neil the other night, as the second athlete, you can request a restart. You can just simply say, I want to restart, and you'll be given a restart. But
that makes sense. I think with arm wars, it's kind of confusing because I don't feel like it's called super consistently. At least not match to match. And I don't mean that. I just mean that there's sometimes, at least when I watch all the videos, and maybe that's because some of the old ones, the rules are changing or something. But like at King of the Table, it wasn't called perfectly at all. Like Gabby, there were like the runners at the end with Sarah. Like I don't even remember exactly, but I know there was a bunch of screw ups there where it should have been like they were restarting the other matches, and then all of a sudden the last one, when Gabby was super tired, it was runner, and then she fouled out. Where the last time it was like runner restart.
Right. So and that's the difference between. So that's the difference between, I guess, what you call a flagrant and a running foul. See, I don't think you should be able to commit a flagrant and get out of a match. Like, to me, that's.
No, you should lose it. In my opinion, the flagrant should lose you. So, like, if you come off the back of the elbow pad to get a foul, and now you're on the runner, and then you just hang all the way off the back like this.
Yeah.
As a ref, I think I should stop the match. That's a flagrant. You lose the match because you're clearly trying, or
Sure.
you're trying to stop the guy. He's driving to the side, and then you do like a Travis Bajent, like elbow like this and go like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're clearly trying to hurt your opponent or take something out of their arm by breaking by creating a foul, I don't know, but I agree.
I'd say
the less subjective you have, the better.
That's the thing. So I do agree with you. There's definitely some room there to, make a person lose on a flagrant, but I think that it's going to start to be subjective. Like, where do you draw that line? And that's why I think, for simplicity's sake, you as a referee, you never let the person get out of a match. So certainly it's not the way it is now. Certainly you can't call a flagrant and get a restart, right? Yeah. That to me is just silliness. But I think that you can, I personally think, like, if you foul against me and then you commit a foul, which is like borderline flag, I just don't think the match should stop. I don't think it should stop.
And like you said, if the rules are that I can just lift my elbow to stop the match, and I see you doing this move that's clearly trying to hurt me, I can just go, I don't want any of that, and get out of the match. Sure.
Exactly.
So that does make sense. Yeah.
Right. I think that's another problem with there's a thing between running fouls and flagrants, which I have some issue with.
Right.
I don't want to say that I have a problem necessarily with the referee having the discretion to make a person lose on a foul that's like so extreme, but I would tend to go the way that just everything's a running foul.
Yeah, and I guess the point is we're talking super high level match, so the guys can protect themselves.
Right. I feel like it should just be running foul and unsportsmanlike conduct. It's not even written as a flagrant foul. Like if you foul, it's a running foul. And if you do something completely ridiculous and stupid, you get a sportsmanship and you lose the match because of it.
Right.
Or the round,
That makes sense.
Yeah. Let me just get to the chats real quick.
Yeah, we got a bunch of chats in here. Thanks everybody for that. We got 72 people in there now and 32 likes. Hit that like button, guys.
Super chat from David. Why did King of the Table drop WL set grip after King of the Table 1? I don't think it dropped after King of the Table 1. It dropped after the second one, right?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. People were talking about it the other day, and I think that somehow got lost somewhere because it was supposed to be set grip. It was supposed to be the King of Table 1 and 2 were supposed to be the same. But yeah, I think that there was a negotiate your grip for 30 seconds and then auto strap, as opposed to in King of Table 1, which was set grip for 30 seconds and then move to auto strap set grip.
Oh.
So, but I don't remember why that changed because like we were supposed to do the same thing. So
it changed every time.
Yeah.
I think that, I just think it's a very new organization and they're working out the kinks.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I'm super, like, I love King of the Table. I think that they're totally on the right track. I think that they're, unfortunately, it's like King of the Table is like more human. You know what I mean? Like WAL was like almost like a corporation.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like there were layers in WAL where you couldn't just call the guy up and be like, hey, yo, your rules suck. Like you need to change it. Like there was like, you couldn't really talk to the guy. But I feel like with King of the Table, it's like, it's people, like people that you know. And I feel like they're getting bombarded with like everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that they're just, I think that they're probably having a hard time trying to make everybody happy.
Well, I think if they go off of comments and off of likes and everything, they're going to clearly see the difference between King of the Table 1 and 2 and King of the Table 3, because King of the Table 3 was way worse to watch than the first two. And even though the matches level-wise were awesome, it was still exciting, but it wasn't anything like the first two. And the only thing worse than that was the last PAL match, which got completely destroyed by everybody. So there's no way that they're not in tune with what's going on enough to see how bad the response was to PAL with the same basic rule set that they tried to go with King of the Table 2, which also didn't go nearly as good as the other ones. Because it really comes down to, we need people that don't arm wrestle to want to watch this sport. That's the only way it's ever going to get to the next level. I know you've heard me talk about it before. The team arm wrestling thing is one of the things I think would go there, but even the point system, which we're going to use on the seminar day when Todd is there with Pork Chop for the undercard match. We've got a little 4-man. It's not a round robin. I'm calling it no elimination tournament. So instead of like you go win-loss, but the winners pull the winners, the losers pull the losers, and then the two new winners and the two new losers pull each other, and you just do 6 rounds in a row. And then you score it with the point system, and then the guy with the most points wins, as opposed to being eliminated after 2 losses. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. So, and I'm thinking about doing that for amateur tournaments, because then when you go to an amateur tournament, you don't pay your fee, lose twice, and get no experience. You get a chance to lose 6 times if you suck.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is the point system, again, makes it where people can clearly now start to understand like what the 2 fouls are, what a dominating win is, what like, you know, all that, just start to understand the sport more, which I think should really be main objective of the rules, other than getting the match started and making sure it ends on a pin. It should be educating the viewer on the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. The education, simplicity, I think is super important. Like a very simple rule set. And I think just a system that does not stifle, people's character and ability to kind of express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And man, that referee's grip is hell for our sport.
Yeah.
It's oh my God.
Well, and even if you watch the Matt Mask and Bresnan match, if you watch the uncut version, they're talking behind, like in between the rounds, and Matt's like, yeah, he's just really tricky at like loading and then unloading.
Right.
And it's like, if that's the game, that's not
game.
the fight. That's horrible.
I know.
There's no fight there. It's just trickery. It's just like, it's just.
I mean, we know that. As arm wrestlers,
we know exactly. Yeah.
And you can make it look horrible, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like, a great one is Evan beating Pork Chop left-handed at our tournament in a ref's grip, which was Dalen who called it more WAF style, which was okay. But Evan totally knew how to abuse that and load with almost everything he's got, and then just let go and let the match go that way and make it look like Pork Chop was starting early, and he wasn't at all. There's another super chat there, Alex. Do you want to?
Yeah, let's go. Sean Culliganator. Finicky rules makes the match about the referee. The last thing you need is a narcissist as a ref showing how great he is at calling every little thing.
Yeah.
Do we agree?
Well, and that's the thing, like you said in your video, is it's not just the person who like is a narcissist and wants to make it about them, but people just can make bad calls. Yeah. And they're under so much pressure that they make a call because, or like you said earlier, they don't make a call because they don't want to ruin the match when it was clearly a foul, but if it's really strict, but then they don't say anything because it's so much pressure, And
he has to be confident about the calls he's making. Otherwise, he'll seem like he doesn't know what he's doing, and the athletes and the people watching won't have respect for him. So even if he makes a bad call, he's got to stick to it.
I'm such a huge fan of the consent start. It makes it so easy. The most difficult thing referee is the hardest job in the world. Okay. I'm so happy that we have people who do this crazy job because they get nothing but hate, but as a referee, how easy is it when you go to the table? Are you happy? Yes. Are you happy? Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Go.
So could I ask you a question quick with the consent? Could it be like the ref sets you up in a set grip in the sense of goes, close your thumbs, close your hands. Then he steps back, and now it's between you two to press your buttons. And as soon as he sees 2 green lights, he goes, go. And you don't go until he says go. But you guys, after he's set you, so he's got your shoulders kind of square. So if you start like carving in hard, the other guy can be like, no, I'm not dealing, So you're still negotiating, but at least you've started. So it's not like, because that's the other thing that people don't like to watch is this, like, we're going to grab each other's hands 18 times before we actually put our elbows down. So if at least it starts like with our hands closed, and then from there, you guys can consent to be exactly where you want.
I think that no matter what, like for a televised, especially a live televised event, you're going to have a time structure built in for any consent system because some people just will not. Right. Yeah. So if for whatever reason, if there's reasons why people would not consent. So you have to just build in time structure. So is it 30 seconds? Yeah. Whatever. Does it move to a referee's assisted consent, or does it move just directly to a set grip? Yeah. But either way, you need to have the referee have the ability to get a match started when people won't consent, and you have to have the referee have some kind of ability to give fouls. Yeah. But anyways, you just need to give them the best opportunity possible to get the match started without being completely ridiculous and having to call fouls on every single movement.
Yeah, 100%. I think if we're talking again about spectators, and then I want to get to this other super chat quick. If it's about spectators, the consent with the lights is actually, again, simplicity would make like nobody would have to know much to be able to understand what's going on. Okay, the ref sets their hands up, and then they figure out if they can come to a consent. And then once they both hit their buttons, the ref says go. And then if a match doesn't go there, they understand why. Okay, the timer went. Now the ref's got to actually get in there because these guys can't seem to agree. It all of a sudden, it all makes sense to somebody who doesn't arm wrestle. When if you're seeing all this and the ref giving them shit over shoulders and this, and they don't really understand what's going on, it becomes way more confusing. So real quick, the super chat, Evan Beerman Burgoyne is asking if he can sleep on your couch tomorrow night.
Tomorrow? Tomorrow Thursday?
Tomorrow is Thursday.
Yeah, sure.
Apparently that is a go ahead there.
Devon consents to you sleeping
no
on his couch.
It's the button.
I got practice tomorrow night, but yeah, for sure after practice or whenever you can. Yeah, my house is your house, buddy.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
But and it's good for sponsors too, because if you have like I don't know whatever you have
30-second ad spot, yeah.
Right, so it's lit up. So it's when Red Bull lights up, then it's a go, like or whatever.
Yeah. But, no, that's it's really, really good. Well, you just mentioned practice. Let's get into training a little bit. And, are you still every other day pulling basically?
It's weird. I haven't been really arm wrestling quite as much. I try and just be super flexible. I'm really strong. I'm really, really strong right now. I can say that pretty confidently.
We were talking to Pork Chop last week. He said he was at your house and what you're pronating with for 50 reps was like 120 pounds or something.
Yeah, that's probably about right. The thing is like, it's a winding path, right? Like,
oh yeah.
And look, I know Levan is stupid strong, and as strong as I am, I know he's stronger. But I'm really trying to focus on my strength a lot. Like, I'll tell you, I go to practice now, and I feel like I'm really ahead. I'm really ahead. Like, it's a lot of it is just for me, just staying on the table and being comfortable. Like, just I like to go to practice, but my workouts at home are probably more challenging for me at this time than table practices are. Like, I'm pushing hard. Like, normally it's like rehab, and I do try and make them kind of rehabilitative in terms of like volume in it, but
the weights are getting up there.
Is that because you can't find challenges at practice?
It's just it's tough, like the thing is I don't want to get on an airplane that badly. I just don't want to. It's just, it's a struggle for me to, like, I know that if I go, like, find like, a stronger bunch of guys, which I know are out there if I get on an airplane. But the thing is every time I get on an airplane, my back gets typically a bit screwed up, and there's the whole diet thing where I'm trying to eat and sleep like max. So
I think staying comfortable and just putting in the work over and over is going to be better than finding that one big effort. And we were just talking obviously to Todd last week, and he's going to be here in about 10 days and stuff.
There's a strong guy flying over to meet you.
Yeah.
Come to us, but you'll be there.
Yeah, but
for sure I'll be there.
Yeah. But the point is the training styles and stuff, very different. But one of the things we talked to him about, and that I think is like one of the keys to West Side and the Conjugate method, is that it's supposedly, or the way that Louis tried to design it, is that it's a mixture of repetitive effort, max effort, and dynamic effort. And the point is that those are the three ways to get strong. And you're just like, for you with where you're at, it's that repetitive effort, and you're just increasing that intensity now to where, like, he made a point at the end, which don't necessarily agree with. I mean, there's maybe some facet where it might be true, but he made a point that just because you can move the same weight more doesn't mean that you're necessarily stronger, because you might not necessarily be able to move more than that weight. So like if you can move your max once and then maybe you can move it 3 times, if you still can't move more than that, you're not really stronger. You just have more work capacity. So there's some truth to that. But if you it is true that repetitive effort will build strength. So if you do that over time and just lay down the layers and lay down the layers, it's going to work. And so it's just really interesting that you're finding, okay, like the table time, if you're not hitting huge practices one after another, you're not getting enough work, or you already did that enough that you maxed that out. Your body adapted from that, and now you don't feel the practices the same way, so you have to up the weights in the recovery stuff to continue to feel that progress, you know?
It's very hard to practice the sport of arm wrestling and not get stronger with any method that you use.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as soon as you're
on the table, right?
Yeah, on the table or whatever, even like rehabilitative style of training for arm wrestling, I think typically lends itself towards getting stronger. Like, I don't think that there's many training systems that a guy's going to do where he gets weaker.
Right.
You know?
No, for sure. 100%.
Like all things lead towards strength, basically. And you just kind of have to find the systems that, you know, give you the best payback over time. And volume is just such a huge piece for me. I need to do a lot. Like, I really do. Like, my body feeds off it. Like, I feel like the more I can just go all day and, you know, eat and sleep, the better my body adapts.
Yeah.
So,
well, and people are different like that, right? That's the whole, like, some people don't do well with volume, but they do great with the max effort work.
Right.
And vice versa, right? So it's like you said, you got to find what works for you and know it. And after you've been doing it for so long, you've really, like, and it continues to change for you, right? Like,
and you got to believe in your system.
Yeah.
Whatever you're running, just believe in your system, because the truth is a lot of them work, especially if you believe in them.
100%. That was a big one I remember in powerlifting, was like, you don't try a program for fucking 6 weeks. You got to give it like 6 months. Like, if you're gonna try 5-3-1, or you're gonna try West Side, or you're gonna try power building, whatever you're gonna try, you don't just try it for a little bit of time. You have to give it a whole bunch of time to actually, like, see what it does, you know, to actually get a judgment on it, because it takes time for your body to adapt and everything.
I'm running 2 experiments at the same time, right? So I got my pumpkin side and I got my party side, and they're both doing well. Like, both of them are good.
Yeah. Quick super chat from Jungwon Lee. What's up? He's from our Table Monkeys crew. So did Devon see the arm wrestling video that went viral on Sports Center? Question. Great exposure
with the old dude with the 2 fingers or something. Because I saw there was I'd seen it before, so I didn't watch it again recently. But there's a video floating around again that everybody's tagging me, and it's this old guy who's like basically arm wrestling a dude with like a finger or something, I think.
Oh, really? I haven't seen it.
I didn't see it.
I think that's probably the one he's talking about. That's been around a couple times now, so it's been
nice.
Yeah, it's a great video. This old guy basically beats this young guy, and it's like the real dad move, you know. It's like I think he beats him with like a finger or 2.
That's hilarious.
But wasn't that your plan in any way to begin with? That as you got closer to the competition, you would drop the volume a bit and then increase intensity. So you're kind of
the way I always do it.
Yeah.
I've been doing that style system for 20 years.
Yeah.
Volume decreases and intensity, you know, as long as I feel good and healthy, like, it doesn't decrease, certainly. So my reps will drop, my volume will drop. Typically I work high volume, high reps. So I'll do like 50 reps for a set. And, you know, like, as the weeks get closer, I'll go 40, 30, 10, 5 until, you know, close to the event. I'm just doing like, you know, 6 reps or so, not feeling any burn, just letting all my fast twitch fibers get back, you know.
So you're moving dynamic, like fast in these
well,
movements?
I mean, I don't want to say that I move fast. I mean, probably a bit fast. I mean, nothing I do is that fast. But yeah, I mean, a little bit faster, a little bit cleaner, a little bit crisper, and just certainly not taxing the systems that I normally task. I let everything kind of come back to optimal health, right? That's the big thing. Like, I'm always beat down, right? Like, I'm training, like, you know, 3 times a day, typically pretty hard sessions. So I'm always beat down, and it's a process to get yourself back up to full functional. Like
Yeah.
it's, it takes, for me personally at my age, I think it takes like 6 weeks, 7 weeks,
Right.
through that taper process, through that resting, so that your body is like, feels good, feels rested, feels like you can hit, feels like you want to hit, like you want to move fast, no pain, no inflammation, fresh.
Are all the movements that you've been doing still the same? Like the classic rise, cup, roll,
Same
pronation,
stuff,
supination, just the
same
micro movements?
stuff. Yeah, pretty much the same stuff. Not a lot of change. I have, over the course of like probably the last, I don't know, maybe last 5 months or so, maybe 4 months, there's one particular exercise that I've really become very fond of that I haven't done in the past. It's just a certain wrap along with a certain angle that I'm really thinking has incredible crossover to the table. Anyways, I'll share it at some point, but
Also, it's a secret for now.
yeah, it's different than what I've typically done in the past, but it's very subtle difference. But I do really like it.
It's a
I've
game of millimeters,
definitely,
right?
yeah. I've
Sometimes that's
done
all it is.
I've done a lot of tricep work,
Yeah.
a lot of grip work. But yeah, just, I mean, for me, it's always rise, cup, roll. Those are my big three, and I'll hit those constantly. Rise, cup, roll, rise, cup, roll.
Yep.
Supinate a little bit, grip definitely. Pronation is huge for me, and setting up my pronation. So the rising works together with pronation, works together with cup. That's how you get your hand control. And
Yep.
I think, that's everything. That's everything.
Quick question from Canadian Dragon, who's Derek Askey. Are you learning Georgian to egg on Levan?
What is it? Hobichi, Kiki, or something? Levan wants to kill me.
Yeah.
He's so pissed.
Did it really get heated in the Zoom call?
He's pissed, man. I was so shocked. I really was. Like, I was really surprised at how it all went down. Because
is he actually pissed about the idea of the auto strap?
Yeah, man, he got pissed. He did get pissed. Like, and I was so shocked by it. I really wasn't expecting it because the truth is we did it all agree. Like, we had, people are like, oh, it says in the contract, or if we had those meetings.
Yeah, and even then, every video he's put out is like, whatever, this is nothing.
I know.
I'll use two hands.
Pull with two arms, and
as it should be.
Yeah,
as it should be. And that's why I was so shocked, because, like, man, to me, it's like Levan is fucking incredible. Like, he's incredible.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm great too, but I feel like Levan is so fucking strong. And when we got on that Zoom call after the King of the Table 3 debacle, just to confirm everything, because there was a lot of stuff online. Yeah, he was like, yeah, he wanted to change the rules, and I was like, what the fuck? And then he got like, okay, he's speaking in Georgian, so like, but I can tell he's pissed. The way he's talking, rah 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 rah, like, and the translator is like, and I'm like, wow, he's upset about this. And then he hung up. And then after I, kind of poke him a bit, calling him a pussy and stuff, then the next thing is, no need to talk anymore until I rip your arm off on the thing. I was like, okay, all right, it's on. So
you're definitely in his head.
Not in his head. I don't think I'm in his head. I mean, whatever. Like, it's great, but he's legit pissed. He's super pissed. Yeah.
Well, he's got no reason to. He's over 100 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah, and he
bigger in every
gained
way.
like 80 pounds
he's
in
like
100 months.
He's 100 and 45 pounds heavier than me.
What are you running? 175, 275 right now?
I'm like 275, 276 in the morning now. So I'm starting to creep.
So you're fully clothed, fully fed, scale weight's like 280. Oh, you lose us?
Again?
I said you're fully clothed, fully. Oh,
sorry.
No worries. I can still hear you, just can't see it. Real quick, guys, 240 people watching. Thank you very much. 79 likes, though. Smash the like button, guys. Smash it. Smash it. All right, yeah, Devon, I was saying you're fully clothed, fully fed. Weight is about 280.
Yeah.
So 280 and he's 415. So, yeah, that's
You're a different weight class.
That's a bar. That's like a loaded bar with a plate on each side.
Right.
Heavier than you.
It's like if I pull like a guy who's like 185.
Yeah.
Like representative. Like,
yeah.
So like, I mean,
it's like if you showed up with Matt Smith on your back. Like you need a whole Matt Smith up with you to.
Yeah.
It's
anyway,
insane.
I feel great though. I do feel I'm definitely the strongest I've ever been. Definitely.
You were the strongest you've ever been last time I felt you, and that was before you even went out to see Matt and everything. So I'm sure that trip up there with Matt was a level up for sure. You probably came back like after you recovered from that.
I think so. Yeah, and I am recovered. I feel it's been a month now, so I feel good.
Sweet. Yeah. So is there consensus now on the rules for the Levan match?
Yeah, from what I understand, we're going with King of Table 1 rules. That's or 2, whatever. Like I don't even know where we left off, whether it's 1 or 2, but it's the original set of rules. So they're getting written up. So there'll be a release at some point. But yeah, they're the original King of the Table rules. Look if he is so. Look, I'll renegotiate. If he really wants to renegotiate, I'll renegotiate. But that means a new contract. That's what it means to me. Yep. And I'll absolutely do it. Like whatever. I'll pull him anyway. But like if there's going to be a renegotiation, then
it's a new contract.
On that,
a new contract.
I saw a video on Facebook of Kirgali Angarbayev slipping from Levan like multiple times.
Yeah.
And the caption was something like, "Do you really think Devon Larratt couldn't slip from this guy?"
Right.
Do you think that you could slip from Levan?
Yeah, I do. Of course I do.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, but we have to be. If we're gonna redo it, we need new contracts.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna just whimsically agree to stuff. Like I want it to be set. Like I feel it was. We set everything. We execute.
Yep.
You want to get out of it? Fine. Send me a new one.
Yeah.
Send me a new one, and I'll say yes or no, or I'll renegotiate, and then I'll sign, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. But I feel like, honestly, it's settled now. I think that he said, "Fine, it's on." So I think it is going to be just King of the Table 1, or
Amazing.
I think the rules are going to be written, and that's going to be it. I think at this point we're pretty much done with it. Although the rules discussion is probably going to carry on for all of eternity.
It makes a great hype.
For King of the Table 4, I think that the rules discussion is pretty much concluded.
Cool. All right, quick super chat from But Use, $10. Thank you very much. Are you being funny about your weight gain again, like King of the Table 1?
I wish. It's been a real struggle for me to get.
You're not eating as dirty this time, right? Oh,
yeah.
What's that? Oh, it's some kind of wrap.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the last time we did this, when you were getting ready for Michael, there was like 3 bags of chips, and that's it.
I know.
So you're eating a little better.
Probably I'm eating a bit better than I was for Mike. Look, at a lot of the weight comes at the very end, right? Yeah. Like the last, 3 weeks or so, that's probably when I'll really water up. And I'm sure that I'll be heavier than I've ever been. I'm sure of it.
Oh, really?
I feel like, the weight that I am, I'm a lot leaner than I was last time. So I think when I go to do like the final pieces, I think I'll be like a totally disgusting, massive bellied 300-pound dude. I'm pretty sure I'll get there. But I mean, I had dreams of just being completely massive, and everybody's like, show up 330 or show up 300. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. Like 285, what I was last time, morning weight. So for Michael, I was 285 morning weight. And that damn near felt like it killed me. It really did. Like I felt like I was going to freaking die. I'm sure that I will hit 285 morning weight and feel better. I'll
This
feel
time, yeah.
better. Yeah, I'll probably think I'm gonna die at 295 morning weight. That's probably what I'll get to. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, totally.
Do you have
worth
any
it.
idea of your total calorie intake at this point?
The only time I count my calories is when I go to sushi and they give me the warning. You know, it's ominous though, isn't it? Like, have you guys been in sushi places, the all-you-can-eat sushi places?
No, they give you a calorie warning now?
I didn't
Yeah.
see that though.
Oh yeah. And all the ones that I go to here in Ottawa,
What's the warning at? Like when you hit 2,000 or something?
Because they know you're coming.
1,000.
1,000.
1,000. They give you a calorie warning. So you hit 1,000. So if you have a party of 3 and you're at 3,000 calories, it'll be like warning you're exceeding your, healthy freaking meal size, which is 1,000. Do you wish to continue? Yes or no? So you have to be like, yes, I wish to continue. But hey, man, when that social credit system, when that digital stuff comes in, they're gonna shut you down, man.
Yes.
You get your salmon token, and no more salmon for you.
Yeah, they might not even let you in the restaurant if you have a BMI over a certain point.
Absolutely crazy up here right now, for sure.
Go do a run first, and then we'll let you in.
Yeah. But I think I'm probably, I don't know, I'm probably around 5,000 average. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't seem that crazy.
Yeah.
It's not totally crazy. I cannot process the way I used to when I was a kid. Like when I was like 25, I could eat, like my digestive system worked awesome.
Yeah.
Like I could eat and eat and eat and eat, and I could digest it, and there was no problem. Now I eat like crazy, and my stomach's just gonna get totally full and just gonna sit there.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna feel like crap.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
probably more
can't.
active at that point as well.
Yeah.
Just younger, it makes a difference.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. You
quick-
can't eat the same as an older dude as you could when you were younger. It's just really hard. Yeah.
Super chat from Andre Alexiev. Hey guys, Devon, are you planning to pull Ryan Espy or Cody Merritt lefty sometime after the Levan match?
Yeah, whatever. I'd pull those guys whenever. Like, I mean, if somebody just showed up and wants to pull left-handed, I'm good. Like my left is ready to go. Like I said, with my left, the way it is you don't need to give me 2 weeks. You don't need to give me a week. Basically, if you tell me you're in Ottawa tomorrow and you want a super match, it's fine. Because I'm not training it. So it's always fresh, it's always ready. Yeah. I'm not really looking for left-hand matches so much.
Yeah.
But if one appears, man, my left is ready to pop. Like it's
that's what Curtis was saying. He was saying he can't even touch your left anymore. And
my left is great.
Yeah.
My left is, so long as I'm on the table consistently with it.
Yeah.
Like even like 2 practices is not ideal. I'd say if I was doing 3 practices a week, that's probably pretty much ideal for it. But yeah, it's always healthy. It's always ready. Like it doesn't have the endurance that my right has. That's for sure. Yeah. But those first matches, like it's quick. It can, because it's fresh. It's ready. Yeah.
But it's not nearly as strong as your right. Still the pumpkin method is.
One, I don't train it, so I have no idea what its strength is in the gym. But I cannot imagine it's as strong. I could not. There's no way it's as strong. It's not even close.
No, even you can just see it. Like your right is clearly way bigger now.
It's becoming. It's really starting to separate now. And if I were to give my right hand like even a day off or a few days off, it would murder my left hand. Murder it. But yeah, I mean, the way it is at practice right now, it's kind of hard to tell the difference at the beginning.
Yep.
Even like 5 or 10 pulls into practice, I can already feel my left, start to soften up a little bit. But my right it never does.
Yeah.
Now it really never softens. Like I can arm wrestle for like an hour or 2 hours. My right is still good.
Yeah.
Like,
awesome.
You're doing like long peaks for these big matches. Do you take deloads in between, or is it just a constant steady incline up until the peak? Okay.
Constant, steady, just every single day, I haven't taken a day off.
Was it
I'm-
always like that?
Yeah.
Like when you were younger, you would do the same thing. If there was a match, you would just constantly be building towards it.
Yeah.
And after a match, like, would you always take a bit of a deload after the match?
Yeah.
So when you would compete, maybe, I mean, what was the most frequent that you would compete?
I'd say that like for high level matches, I'd say the most that I would typically do was 3, even like maximum like 4 a year.
Yeah.
So like separated by 3 months to 4 months. I feel like that gives you enough time to absorb all the lessons that you will have learned from your match and digest them, incorporate things that you learned, and show up better for your next one.
Yeah.
Look, there's a million. You can advocate for any system. I think it's cool that people go around and arm wrestle all the time. It's great. But I think if you really want to climb a ladder, whatever works for the individual. For me, I always found like I really wanted to take the time and be sure that I did things better.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen overnight, like
Yeah.
I think if you're dedicated to the sport, 3 months is nothing. It's nothing. 3 or 4 months is nothing.
Yeah.
You,
Sorry,
you
guys, I
can
have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Go.
you can take 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Just a real quick super chat here from Butt Hughes again. He's asking, did the Thor match set you back at all?
It's an interesting time, the Thor match. Actually, it's really interesting. During that time period, my right hand was a total mess. Like
That was after Mike, before John, right?
right. Yeah.
I remember you saying it was your right wrist, your riser.
The wrist, the hand, everything in my right hand was a total mess.
Yeah.
Probably about a month and a half after Mike until probably like 2 days before I pulled John.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
The longest period of having my hand screwed up that I've ever had in my career. I was hoping that the time off when I was boxing would let it kind of somehow heal, but it didn't. I took 4.5 weeks off to do the boxing, where I did no arm wrestling training whatsoever. I just did boxing and cardio. And the day after I had my match, I was right back on the table, and I was hoping I was going to be like somehow just healed, and it wasn't. It was still
You
a
have
mess.
Sahel Khan just beating on you.
Yeah, that's right.
What a guy.
It's fun.
It
Fun. Yeah. But
couldn't have been good for your elbows, all the boxing.
no, it's not good for your elbows. But that's the whole thing with like cross training. Like, I mean, you do anything hard, it's probably not going to help you if you're specialized, if you're really going for it.
Yeah.
But I just really enjoyed it. I think it was good for me spiritually to get beat up by Thor. I think it's just
Yeah, I thought it was one of my favorite quotes from you was when you said, I thought it would do me really, really, like, spiritually really, really good or whatever to get my ass kicked. It's the way you said it was just, yeah, poetic.
And it does. It's a great thing for you, like, to get beat up.
Yeah, man. Many people don't understand that. Like, you learn from your losses, you don't learn from your wins. So you sometimes you need to like pursue those and find those, because especially when you dominate the way you do, it's easy to get ahead of yourself, and you need to sometimes, being humble could be the best thing.
Yeah. One thing I love about you, Devon, is that you always humble after a loss, and you always give credit where credit's due. You're never salty about anything, and then you just just strive to be better the next time.
That's why we do it, right?
Yeah.
That's why we do it.
Yeah,
have fun, go and fight hard, right? Fight hard.
Yeah.
And then when the fight's done, buddies.
Yeah.
Valhalla, right? Valhalla.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. We asked Todd that question: is it more of a combat sport or a strength sport? And he's like, you'd think because I'm such a science and gym-based guy that I would say it's more strength, but it really is a combat sport as long as strengths are equal. And I think that kind of goes back to the rules again too. Like, that's when the rules get too tight, you take all that fight out of the sport, right? And it's part of learning how to like one of the best things about the sport for people that I've seen, like newer guys getting into it and stuff, is how they learn to like stand up for themselves and fight for themselves.
Yeah.
By not getting bullied on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is obviously elements of both. You know, it's obviously a fight sport. You know, there's a lot of ways that you can kind of try and make the sport bigger. And, you know, there's a lot of games you can play, a lot of counters you have to understand. You have to understand the sport. Once you reach certain levels of understanding, I would say it probably becomes more of a strength sport, where you start to understand that there's some things that are just very hard to deal with. Like there's certain strengths which you can just lead with. It's very hard. So, I mean, but this is all this. Once you get to that level, it's because you're a great fighter. You know, like the two systems work together. I don't think that you can just be a very simple strength athlete, even if someone were to teach you the vectors and execute it properly. I feel like you have to be both. You have to understand the game, love the game, and once you understand it, it can become more simple again, and you can just get diesel strong in your attacks, right? It's like, you know, if you had just the most smoking punch, the most smoking punch, well, you could probably be a good boxer if you understood boxing even just a little bit, right? Be like, I'm gonna hit you with this thing.
Yeah,
I know this punch.
Well, that's kind of like the last heavyweight with Tyson Fury, and I forget the other guy's name. With he's like pure power and just hits harder than anybody almost ever, but not the best boxer. And Fury is just like been boxing since he was a baby, basically.
Right.
And
on that point, if you are so technically advanced as an arm wrestler, why do you need to arm wrestle so many times a week? Why don't you just focus on gaining strength?
Well, the real reason is probably just that I actually enjoy it. Like,
exactly.
You know, I enjoy arm wrestling. It's really fun for me, and it's such an easy way to be motivated. Like, the weights don't motivate me. It's very easy for me to go to the club and play. Like, and I can work out with anybody. You know, I can work out with kids, and I can get a good workout with kids. I can work out with amateurs. I can work out with women. To me, like, it's enjoyable. I like the activity. Me just getting super strong, yeah, there's probably a lot to that. You know, it might do me better, but what fun would that be? Seriously, it'd be like such a waste of time. Like, you know, when I look back at my life, like, and I think of all the years that I've spent in the gym, none of that is like, oh, do I ever cherish those moments? No, I don't cherish those moments at all. But when I look back and I think about all the clubs that I've gotten to hang out with and all the people that I've touched, and yeah, man, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. I hate weights. They make me stupid. I don't like them at all.
A great answer. So someone posted in the chat. Apparently, the current rankings right now are Levan, Larratt, Chafee, Kardeccia, Gasparini, and then you, Devon. What do you think of these rankings?
I mean, I've talked about them a lot before. So there's a lot of unknowns with people who haven't faced each other. My biggest complaint about the whole thing is that they're discounting the win that I have on Dave.
Yeah.
Which I just don't. I think I beat Dave. And you know, that's the way I see it. People want to go and dissect that match and say, oh, it would never have happened on a WAP. Well, whatever. Okay. So that's hypothetical. And the other thing, people are like, Devon, you cheated the whole time. I didn't really. And if you actually go back and look at the match, see how many false starts Dave got away with, see the moves that it's not like I was the only one who got away with stuff that day. But I won the war. Like, and I feel like people want to discount that somehow. And I think that that's coming from just an illogical position. I genuinely believe I would beat Dave under any rule system. Any. You put us on WAF pads, you put us on. I don't think it'll matter. I think I'll beat him.
Well, not only that, Devin. What would you do to the Devin that pulled
Right.
Dave?
I'm so much. It's not even comparable.
Yeah.
I'm
Like, it's another person.
Like, I'm not that guy anymore. You know, I'm sorry. You know, I've embraced all that arm wrestling has to offer.
Yeah.
And yeah.
You know, that, I mean, we just like Rob, we don't have to talk about it too much, but Rob talked about it, obviously, put a video out and shat all over that other side of things. And he made this point of like, you know, it's like taking a carriage from one side of the country to the other and you just take a plane. And we really don't like that comparison because it's like, no, like that's maybe the cheating way. But the point is, once you get to the edge, there's a whole ocean that you get to cross if you do it right. And that's what Rob isn't like accepting. And then we also just made the point that like, if Rob looks at it as just a hobby, other people look at it as their life, like Dennis did. And that was maybe the turning point for you, is realizing that there is another level. I remember you talking about that, saying that you thought that, you know, going away to war was the only thing you could do where you could be risking your life for something. And then you saw Dennis and you went, oh shit, no, there's like a whole nother side to this. And and I think that if Rob was like Michael Todd, for example, where that's how he puts all his food on his table, maybe he would look at it a lot differently. You know what I mean? And
I don't want to knock anybody's choices or anything like that. I just say that to have Dave ranked ahead of me is based off of what?
Yeah. His win over Alex and Alex's win over Hermes.
Listen, I haven't lost.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't lost. Like since I've arm wrestled Dave, I haven't lost a match.
Yeah.
How many matches has Dave lost? You know, you can say, okay, well, he's arm wrestling tougher people. I don't know, but I'm in the right spot to face Levan. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
I am in the right spot to have that match for the number one spot in the world.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Levan,
but it will make me so happy, and I'll get so many laughs if let's just say if I were to beat Levan, it would make me so happy if Dave was ranked 1. That would be great. And I was like 2 or 5 or something. I don't know.
I'm sure you'll cheat somehow, so it will be discredited.
Yeah. There's a super chat there. You're gonna.
I do have to get going. I do. Okay. Unfortunately.
Can we hit you with this one super chat real quick? The last one.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to read it out?
Yeah. Ehawk42, thank you for your super chat. Devin, do you plan to ever even go for the pin versus Levan, or have him pin himself? I have a hard time seeing you having the finishing power to pin him.
I would probably never pin him. Probably not.
I don't feel
think, like. But it's got nothing to do with finishing power.
No.
But I'll see you guys on the 23rd. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, and what nights do you guys practice? Because I might try and pop down and see you guys again.
We're Saturdays always, and we could do a Wednesday if you give us a little bit of notice.
Okay.
Those are the best days for us.
Okay, guys. Hey, thanks so much for having me on.
No, thank you so much for coming, Devin. It's really always a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll see you very soon.
Yeah, all right, sweet. Thanks so much, Devin.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Oh shit! Super chat from the One Hammer, $5. Thank you. Europeans favor their athletes. When Monster Michael Todd was on the top, he was top 5, and when he lost to you, you were top 5. They can't have both of you top 5. European ego.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, I can't say I disagree.
I'm going to disagree with that. Yeah, for sure. That's one thing. The ego, it comes into the pulling too. You know, like a lot of the pure Europeans that we've ever practiced with that come to our practices, they do have a lot of the time. Majority of them have a much more of that ego pulling, where they're looking to get an advantage in the grip before they pull, and then they pull hard, and they're always looking for a pin. And and you know, it's not like that's bad or anything, but
there's a time and a place.
Yeah, it has a time and a place, and in reality, for progression of a good practice, it's not, in our opinion, not the best way to train.
People aren't going to want to train with you. if you're hurting them all the time, or if you're just smashing them all the time.
Yeah.
That's not how you as an arm wrestler get better, by smashing people who are weaker than you. And it's not how the other person gets better who's getting smashed. Right.
Yeah,
So
Todd,
it's creating a bad team.
exactly. Todd made a great point about that last week, right? Where he was saying how you're going to have to practice with this guy for like 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
So like, if your only goal is to beat him, like that's not a very good way to train with somebody, is to have the goal of beating that person. It doesn't mean that you don't measure yourself against people in your training club, but you don't do it by trying to beat them. You do it by like, can I go on a hook with you? For me, training my elbow, that was a great way. My right elbow was weak as shit, and I knew Miguel's elbow was like fucking steel. And even though he's half my size, if I can bang inside with him, I know my elbow's getting stronger. So it was like constantly trying to meet him inside.
Yeah, and that's on a consistent basis, right? Most people, unlike Devon, don't steadily get stronger on an incline, right? It's waves, ups and downs. So if you beat one guy this week, you might not beat him the next week.
Yeah.
So don't like settle for instant gratification in that one practice.
Yeah.
And then fuck up long-term success.
Yeah, and what I mean is, I'm just saying, when you can measure yourself against people in practice, but you're not trying to beat them. You're just trying to, like, if they're strong at something, you're trying to see if you can match that strength in certain positions. Like, you're fighting with them there because it's a fight and we're practicing together. But it's not like I'm just trying to get a pin on you. I'm trying to see if, like, you're holding me with your riser. Can I eventually find a way to beat your riser? And like you said, maybe one week I'll be like, oh, I feel like I'm more there with you. And then the next week it's like, because you were just tired and now you're rested, like you destroy me there. But over time, for sure, my riser is going to improve because I'm working with a guy who has a stronger riser or cup or whatever it is. But the point is that we're not just like trying to fight with each other, and that's where that whole like holding, like the stronger man holds and the weaker guy works. That's where a lot of people get confused on that, and they're the stronger guy holds for a second. And as soon as he feels like he's got, okay, yeah, I let you work for a second, they go and pin. Yeah. And it's like, that's not what you should be doing, is holding and just trying to take a little bit away constantly and just get in a better position. Or if you're so much stronger than the guy,
do the opposite.
Give stuff away. Exactly. And then see how you can make yourself work in bad positions or in positions where you've lost certain things, but never really going for the pin. The goal is to outlast the other person and force them to just give up. Or if you're close enough in strength, maybe it will get to a point where I've got to kind of fight it back over a bit.
Yeah, and there are times and places, right, for when you go all out in a practice, like close to an event, you might do some ready-go practice where you're actually hitting. But you do it smart, because obviously there's always the risk of injury when you do stuff like that, and you wouldn't want to do that in practice. Some guy, Exol, I don't know how to pronounce that. He says, what do you guys think the appropriate rankings are?
The appropriate world rankings, in our opinion? Okay, let's give that real quick. I think Levan for sure number 1. I can give Vitaly number 2 for sure. But then I think I don't see why Devon is at number 3.
I would put Devon as number 2 because Vitaly is, hasn't pulled in years, and he has to actually pull to.
Well, he did pull Krasi not too long ago.
That doesn't count. Krasi is.
I know, but
nowhere near the top 10.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe he's close to the top 10, but he's not in the top 10.
He hasn't lost to anybody to bring him down, and Devon would put him ahead of him.
But Devon has beaten Dave Chafee. He's beaten Michael Todd. Vitaly, who's Vitaly beaten? He's in that top 6 that we listed before.
Yeah.
0 people.
Well, I think he beat Alex, no?
I don't think he's pulled Alex.
Pulled, yeah.
No.
It's a good point. Sorry. In reality, we're judging Vitaly based on his stature.
Yeah, and how well he did against Levan.
Yeah, which really he didn't. I mean, what did he do? He held him up a bit. Like
for 1 round, yeah, he did pretty well. There was a stop in center table, but then after that, it was game over.
How well did he? I mean, he dumps his riser, but then he totally lost it. And
it was a brief period of time where it was here, and it was stuck there, and then it was all over, right? Yeah. And then it was just all over every single round.
You know what? And that's where even with Levan, let's say if Devon doesn't win, I truly believe he's going to slow Levan down more than
Vitaly. Yeah, his style is just so much better to deal with, Levan.
Yeah. And the point is, Devon isn't the kind of puller that once he loses a round, it's over. Like he's gonna,
exactly. Yeah,
he could lose the first 2 rounds and almost lose the 3rd one before he turns it around. So
yeah, we got some Devon haters in the chat. I've been seeing way more Devon haters over the last month on Facebook, on our videos, on chats.
Yeah,
it's just creating more hype. So keep doing it.
Yeah, if you don't think that he feeds the fuels off that shit,
exactly,
you're only helping. You're only putting the gas on the fire.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that just don't even fucking know what they're talking about.
Yeah, most of these trolls, they don't even arm wrestle.
Yeah,
and they just hide behind their fake accounts. Are you just trying to stir a controversy? Do you even believe in what you're saying?
Which one?
Just people like most of them on Facebook, right? The Hutch
touchings or whatever, yeah.
Muhammad Hassan. I mean, I think he might be a real person, but who knows him? Never seen him arm wrestle before, and he makes stupid comments. So no respect.
A lot of stupid comments out there, but it's just because people are trying to grab onto this little thing that is about to blow up in the world. So
2 months, right?
What's that?
2 months.
2 months what?
Away. 2 months away.
Oh, his match?
Yeah, in June?
10 weeks now, I think.
10 weeks, okay.
10 weeks.
So late June.
Yeah, it's June 25th, so.
Right. Okay.
That was a pretty successful night. I guess last thing we touched on it real quick, and we were going to talk about it in the beginning if Devon didn't make it on at 7:30, but he, as the legit awesome person that he was right on time. We mentioned it a little bit earlier, is the undercard for the Toddzilla event. So anybody out there who's in Ontario, Southern Ontario especially, I don't know if anybody realizes, but motherfucking Toddzilla is coming to Toronto, and he's pulling Pork Chop and Brian DeSormo at the same time, one after another, tag team, crazy shit. So get your tickets. There's links all over the place.
Yeah, I'm going to put a link in the chat right now.
Yeah, there's a link in the chat. Alex is putting in right now. Go get your tickets. If you get them in advance, you get a free Table Monkeys t-shirt when you get there. You can pay when you get there, but there's no guarantee that there'll be spots. So please get your tickets in advance if you can. It's going to be awesome.
Devon will be there.
What's that?
Devon will be there.
Devon will be there. Yeah, we didn't want to promote it too much while Devon was on, but yes, Devon will be there. And no, it's not trend cough. It's the other kind of cough that's going around right now. The thing that we want to talk about is the undercard, because that match is going to be awesome, but you can't just start with that. You got to start with something to build it up. So we're doing this no elimination tournament that we talked about while Devon was on. And basically the idea is that we're going to use the point system that we came up with for the team arm wrestling events that we're trying to start promoting. And we want to do these tournaments where you don't get eliminated. It just goes win-loss column, and it goes rounds. So we're going to do 6 rounds. So no matter what, you get to pull 6 times, kind of like a round robin. You might pull the same guy a couple times, depending on the size of the event. For this one, it's going to be 4 guys, so they will end up pulling each other more than once. But then based on the point system, the guy with the highest score points-wise wins the event, as opposed to getting eliminated and it going down by elimination. So
this is a really good method for amateur events, right? Because most tournaments are like $30 an arm, right? So it's pretty expensive to enter. Then you go in and if you lose 2 times, you're out, and you may get flashed 2 in a row and not learn a single thing.
Yeah, or you may foul out on one because you don't understand the ref script exactly.
Right. So you leave feeling completely defeated, and you might not even come back, right? And that's not what we want.
Yeah. So we're gonna run it with these 4 guys as the undercard. We've got Mike Hassos from the Table Monkeys team. We've got Darcy Dick from Pembroke. We've got Donald Burns from up in North Bay, and Ashton DeSormo also up from North Bay.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an awesome.
Yes, it will be streamed on our channel. Still working on the details for that.
Yeah, we're gonna do a members only thing for the streaming, because again, we've got to, or at least for the Todd match, maybe not for the undercard. We will figure that out, but there will be a members only thing going on for the Toddzilla match, because Todd is a professional and Todd is not cheap. So
Yes.
unfortunately, we need as much help as we can to pay for this guy, because he's going to be awesome to have up here, and to get to go through Fortis and talk about his training and how he does it. And we're also going to film the seminar and edit it real nice and everything, and we'll put that up for members as well. After the seminar goes out. But yeah, once again, grab your tickets. It's going to be awesome. The Undercard event's going to be awesome. We should be putting out flyers for that over the next few days, and that's about it.
Any last questions from you guys? We got one. What are your highest ranked wins, Jason and Alex? Mine's probably Jamie Staken.
Left hand Jamie Staken and Dave Hall at the tournament.
Dave Hall, but he's not ranked.
Yeah, but that was, I mean, he kind of should be ranked right-handed because he's beat Sean. So those rankings are a little funny. Like he's 10 or 11, 242 right arm, I think.
Okay, so yeah, those are my highest.
I think that's one of your best wins for sure.
And you?
And my best win is probably Logan LeClaire and what was his name, Charlie McKeegan. From the Pembroke tournament. Those are definitely my most notable wins. And then I've got a huge match coming up May 7th against Ian Carnegie. So that should be that's the one I'm focused on. So we got one more super chat.
White Wolf, $5. Thank you so much. Came in late, so no friggin' question because you likely already covered it. Just want to give you some support.
Well, thank you, White Wolf. Well, in case
go back and watch it from the beginning.
Yeah, just watch from the beginning, or if you think of another question, throw it in and we'll try to answer it. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't even remember what we covered at this point. But yeah, no, it's been a wicked night, and we're going to try to do this every week. I'm not sure who we're going to get on next week. We kind of started like right at the top. We got Todd and Devon. I'm gonna have to call like John Brzenk or something.
Yeah, we'll get Levan on here and his translator and
yeah,
hash it all out.
Really stir the shit.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Should we close the show?
Yeah, I think we're good. If anybody has any more questions, we'll go for 2 more minutes and then we'll cut it out. So
okay, because I'm hungry.
So yeah, I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to ask more questions. And yeah. Other than that,
thank you to everybody who's been watching. Still 250 in the chats. Yeah, if you haven't liked, please hit that like.
What was our max? Let me check. We had a bunch at one point there.
Yeah, I think it was over 300.
Yeah, it was well over 300. So thank you guys, everybody that joined in, and thank you for all the super chats. We really appreciate that. Like I said, we're going to try to keep doing these. So feel free to throw comments down like on the stream afterwards, letting us know who you'd like to see. One of the cool things with this community is that everybody's pretty open.
Yep.
I haven't really messaged anybody and not gotten a response. So it's pretty awesome how open everybody is to just.
Maybe Matt Mass would be a good one. Talk about the PAL nonsense.
Yeah, that's a good one. Getting back into the rules and stuff. I will message him. We did him a solid while he was here, so he probably looked us up. That's a great idea. We were going to try to get Matt Mass on our Table Talks 2.0 next week, and we'll work on that. So
yeah,
I didn't see any more questions. You see any there?
No.
All right, guys. Thank you all so much. I'm going to hit the end stream button in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Monkeys out. Peace.
Damn,
awesome.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.